I'm interested in OKC versus Indiana. Both teams cannot afford the mistakes. It'll be playing chess. Absolutely. Both teams play defense. Both teams force turnovers. If you watched, the previous series, the Knicks versus the Pacers, what you saw was the Knicks being forced into turnovers and the Pacers taking advantage of it. Absolutely. And the Thunder, that's how they play. Razor with the follow-up. OKC is the best defensive team. Indiana is the most physical pressure team. They will both clash. This is going to be a tough series for both. So I want to speak to that, Razor. I think this is going to be a true test for SGA. I think up to this point, SGA's journey has been pretty smooth through these playoffs. There were a couple of touch-and-go moments against the Nuggets, right? But now he's going to get his true test because it's the biggest platform. You know what I mean? It's the biggest stage. That adds nervousness, anxiety, right? Everything gets tighter. The leads, the pressure, defensive pressure, the turnovers, everything magnified, right? So it'll be his first true test. And I think for the Pacers too, this will be their first true test. A defense that is legitimately hellacious. How do they deal with that? Nobody else they played up to this point has anything remotely close to an OKC level defense. And I would say that probably in the last several years, OKC has the best defense we've seen in the entire league in the recent history. Like, they're just so good. Perimeter defense, interior defense, they have it all, right? And the thing about the Pacers is, like, they want to get out and push in the fast break. Like, can you do that against the Thunder? I don't know. I truly believe OKC needed to go through adversity against the Nuggets. It seems like it helped them grow. I agree, because they went 7 games against the Nuggets and then dominated the Wolves in, 5 games? I think they gave up 1 game to the Wolves. But yeah, absolutely. You could say they're, you could say battle tested. They won a game 7 and all those kind of things, albeit in a blowout. But yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to speak to one of the matchups that we're obviously going to see in the NBA Finals. And, these guys are literally going to be matched up against each other. Tyrese Haliburton and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, they're going to be matched up against each other. We're going to see them going head-to-head. I think individually, SGA is going to have the better series. And the reason why I think he's going to have the better series is because SGA, I think, will be able to get to his spots and still get his points. I think he'll draw a lot of fouls, get a lot of free throws, what he's done over the course of the whole season. Indiana's defense, while it is very good, and it is a pressure-based defense, it's not the Thunder's defense. So, for example, if SGA is being defended by Haliburton, SGA is going to cook him. But if they choose to go with more like the defensive matchups where they're going to try like some combination of like Neesmith and Nembhard, which I think it's going to be Neesmith. But like, he's going to give him hell. Like, there's going to be a lot of fouls drawn. That's going to put guys in foul trouble. Rick Carlisle is going to have to make adjustments. There's going to be unique pressures that Indiana hasn't dealt with yet this year. The Thunder in a 7-game series, right? I think SGA is going to have a bigger individual series. But Haliburton can still have his moments, and he could still have big games. And the way he impacts the game is a little bit different. Tyrese Haliburton is a traditional point guard. This is a guy who averages like 10, 12 assists in the playoffs. There were some games where I think he had like a few games where he had 15 assists. He's a traditional point guard, in my opinion. SGA is as well, but I think SGA more so along the lines of he's going to look to score more often than the typical point guard, right? Like he's obviously a primary ball handler. He's running the offense, but he is looking to score because I think he believes in his heart of hearts he's the best scoring option on the Thunder. And I think he knows that, and I think the Thunder know that. So if he gets the opportunities to score, that's where he goes first. But he's not afraid to dish the ball, and he's not afraid to move it around. And if it isn't there for him, or if other guys are open for looks, it's clean, it's a good look, high quality shot, he'll distribute as well. But there's going to be games where Tyrese Haliburton does have some really solid moments. It's going to be can you put together enough of them to help kind of curve what the Thunder are doing? I think specifically for the Pacers in the series is they have to they have to have a plan in dealing with is Shea. Like you're not just gonna go in there and say, okay, we're gonna put Neesmith on him and call it a day. We're gonna walk away from that. That's not gonna work. Neesmith is gonna be the primary defender, but you're gonna have to be looking at rotations. You're gonna be looking at, what do we do when we switch? Are we gonna blitz this guy? Are we gonna force him to pass the ball? Are we gonna live with other guys taking threes? Lou Dortz, Case and Wallace. I do think Chet's gonna be involved in those pick and rolls.